Okay, this, as far as I know, is a true story. It's a cemetery escort duty. I just wanted to get the day over with and go down to Smokies. Sneaking a look at my watch, I saw the time 16:55. 5 minutes to go before the cemetery gates are closed for the day. Full dress was hot in the August sun. Oklahoma summertime was as bad as ever. The heat and humidity at the same level, both too high. I saw the car pull into the drive, a 69 or 70 model Cadillac DeVille. Looked factory new. It pulled into the parking lot at a snail's pace. An old woman got out, so slow I thought she was paralyzed. She had a cane and a sheaf of flowers, about 4 or 5 bunches as best as I could tell. I couldn't help myself. The thought came unwanted and left a slightly bitter taste. She's going to spend an hour, and for this old soldier, my hip hurts like hell, and I'm ready to get out of here right now. But for this day, my duty was to assist anyone coming in. Kevin would lock the in gate, and if I could hurry the old biddy along, we might make it to Smokies in time. I broke close attention. My hip made a gritty noise when I took the first step, and the pain went up a notch. I must have made a real military sight. Middle-aged man with a small pot gut and half a limb, in Marine full-dress uniform, which had lost its razor crease about 30 minutes after I began the watch at the cemetery. I stopped in front of her, halfway up the walk. She looked up at me with an old woman's squint. "Ma'am, may I assist you in any way?" She took long enough to answer. "Yes, son. Can you carry these flowers? I seem to be moving a tad slow these days." "My pleasure, ma'am." Well, it wasn't too much of a lie. She looked again. "Marine, where were you stationed?" "Vietnam, ma'am. Ground pounder 69 to 71. She looked at me closer. "Wounded in action, I see." "Well done, Marine. I'll be as quick as I can." I lied a little bigger. "No hurry, ma'am." She smiled and winked at me. "Son, I'm 85 years old, and I can tell a lie from a long way off. Let's get this done. Might be the last time I can do this. My name's Joanne Weisserman, and I have a few Marines I'd like to see one more time." "Yes, ma'am, at your service." She headed for World War I section, stopping at a stone. She picked one of the flowers out of my arm and laid it on top of the stone. She murmured something I couldn't quite make out. The name on the marble was Donald Davidson, U.S. Marine Corps, France, 1918. She turned away and made a straight line for the World War II section, stopping at one stone. I saw a tear slowly tracking its way down her cheek. She put a bunch on the stone. The name was Stephen X. Davidson, United States Marine Corps, 1943. She went up the rollways and laid another bunch on the stone. Stanley J. Weisserman, United States Marine Corps, 1944. She paused for a second. "2 more, son, and we'll be done." I almost didn't say anything, but, "Yes, ma'am, take your time." She looked confused. "Where's the Vietnam section, son? I seem to have lost my way." I pointed with my chin. "That way, ma'am." "Oh," she chuckled quietly. "Son, me and old age ain't too friendly." She headed down the walk I pointed at. She stopped at a couple of stones before she found the one she wanted. She placed a bunch on Larry Weisserman, U.S. Marine Corps, 1968, and the last on Darrell Weisserman, U.S. Marine Corps, 1970. She stood there and murmured a few words I still couldn't make out. "Okay, son, I'm finished. Get me back to my car and you can go home." "Yes, ma'am." "If I may ask, were those your kinfolk?" She paused. "Yes, Donald Davidson was my father. Stephen was my uncle. Stanley was my husband. Larry and David were our sons, all killed in action and all Marines. She stopped. Whether she had finished or couldn't finish, I don't know. She made her way to her car slowly and painfully. I waited for a polite distance to come between us, and then double-timed it over to Kevin, waiting by the car. Get to the out gate quick. I have something I've got to do. Kevin started to say something, but saw the look I gave him. He broke the rules to get us there down the service road. We beat her. She hadn't made it around the rotunda yet. Kevin, stand at attention next to the gate post and follow my lead. I humped across the drive to the other post. When the Cadillac came puttering around from the hedges and began the short straight traverse to the gate, I called in my best gunny's voice, "Attention! Present arms!" I have to hand it to Kevin. He never blinked an eye. Full dress attention and a salute that would make his DI proud. She drove through that gate with two old worn-out soldiers giving her a send-off she deserved for service rendered to her country and for knowing duty, honor, and sacrifice. I am not sure, but I think I saw a salute from inside the Cadillac. Instead of the end, just think of taps. And let's all keep those currently serving and those who have gone before in our thoughts. They are the reason for the many freedoms we enjoy.